Here we go. It is Jacob Warren. The Vol Report with Jacob is brought to you by our friends at Drs Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Haun, cctis.com. Tell you more about them. But here we go, Jacob. Again, the countdown, the last of the last in college. You're getting ready to head on to the NFL, be a superstar, Hall of Fame player. Before you know it, you're going to have gray hair in your beard like me one day. But you're looking taut right now.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Just early today, finished up the last couple assignments that I needed to do for school. Not wasn't pursuing another degree or anything, but finished up this semester, and just realizing that that's the last bit of school I'll ever do. Probably, maybe we'll see. So, kind of kind of interesting, but very very cool.
Well, when we met, you were a kinesiologist major, and
Yeah.
I tried my hardest to I said that right, by the way. I'm not gonna. I want to try Nico's name, but I encouraged you to at least keep an eye on the communications field, because I think you can be a superstar if you wanted to on TV. What are the chances that Jacob Warren is on my TV set about 10 years from now?
The over under, man. I don't know. It'll just kind of be a matter of what I kind of fall into and what I decide. I'm interested in. I think that, like you said, I do think I'd be good at it, and I do think that that's something that I could definitely see myself doing. Um, maybe we'll have to have more conversation about it. I don't really know what it looks like. I don't know how you get into it. I don't know what area I'd want to be in, but yeah, for sure. I think there's so many options that I've got a pretty good situation here.
Yeah, no, you do. I think I can take care of you too. So you've always got my phone number, so I can
Mhm.
hook you up with the right people. He is Jacob Warren. I'm Dave Hooker. Again, the Vol Report with Jacob is brought to you by Drs Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Haun. Let's get to this NIL portal, and I'm not going to ask you about specific guys because that's their business. Just like you had your business last year, I have my business. Decisions that we make concerning ourselves are those decisions, but
Right.
the number of people of Tennessee players that have entered the portal. And I want to remind everybody you can enter the portal and come back. So these aren't final decisions,
Sure.
but it does seem like a big number to me. What do you make of the number of guys that seem interested?
Um, there's definitely multiple ways to go about it. I think, I'll focus on the one that, I think is positive and puts a positive light on things is, you know, this team is doing a great job, right? We're putting, not we, I guess, our coaches and everything are putting people in positions to be extremely successful, right? So you have guys like that who are going to, again, with the world of NIL, I'm sure there's plenty of money, there's plenty of opportunities out there for a lot of guys to go and man, put themselves in a great place, whether it be financially or just for the draft or whatever it may be able to go and explore options and be able to, again, like you said, progress and get as far as you can in this phase of your life. Then again, I think that there's guys that are in the portal, for the reason of going to try to find somewhere to play, right? I think that at a certain point you realize as a player that some places just might not be the place for you, and I think that it's very mature, and it's very self-aware and very, I don't even know what the right word is, but it's hard to make that decision to say like, yep, this place is not for me. Like whether, regardless of whether it's, you know, hopefully no one thinking they're not good enough, right? But um, just looking at the situation how it is and saying, hey, there's a couple guys ahead of me that I don't necessarily see myself passing anytime soon. Like let me go try to find some competition somewhere else, or maybe a level that better suits me or whatever it may be, right? There's so many different reasons why guys enter the portal, and um, I've definitely spoken my mind on this and my piece about it. But I think that, man, if that's what if that's what makes you happy, right, and that's where you think you'll be the most successful, then who am I to tell you that that's a bad decision, right? And I know you're not saying it's a bad decision either. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
who am I to keep somebody or say anything about a guy for leaving this program to go find a better fit. So
With guys' decisions, how much or how high on the list for most guys is NIL money? Because it's getting to the point where you have an opportunity to have a real income, a significant income
yeah,
via NIL money. So how many guys do you think, not out of your group, but just in general in college
yeah.
football, do you think that tops the list?
this might be, uh, I don't know what the word is for it, but might be wrong of me to compare it to this. But I mean, as just a person, right, in the world, and you're looking for a job, you're looking for a career, you're going to look for the most competitive pay, right? Who's going to give me the most money for the job that I'm doing? Can I go to this place and they do this and give me this and give me that, all these benefits, right? Like that's a part of choosing a career and choosing someone to work for in the real world. So you know, why not it be a part of kind of what we got going on here? Obviously, it takes away a little bit of the amateur status, I guess, that we're called to uphold and that we have had so long in the NCAA. But truly is becoming somewhat of a business, right? It's becoming a point where people have to make decisions based on families, right? Some people have kids, literally, like a lot of the guys on the team have other people that are depending on them to make money or to do whatever. So um, I think that at the end of the day, is NIL is a business, and you either learn how to take advantage of it and make the best of it, or you kind of let it pass by. But definitely across the board, I think NIL has become a very large piece of this whole transfer.
No, and I understand that. Listen, that money to some extent does make the world go round in some facets of life. One thing that I would encourage people to take a look at would be you, frankly, because you have managed your own thing this year and your NIL opportunities, and you've hustled a little bit, and I think that's what people need to do. I think if a player is expecting just to show up at a school and make a lot of money because they have NIL money,
Mhm.
it's probably a little short sighted, I would think. Am I right?
Yeah. No, man, I think I agree. In a way, there is just natural value that people have, right? There's going to be value in starting quarterbacks. There's going to be value in edge rushers, right? And there's going to be value in offensive line. There's value everywhere, right? But um, let's see, I don't know. I don't really, again, don't know how to exactly phrase it, but it's gotten to the point where it has just become a almost not entitlement, but just a feeling of yeah, like I should be getting paid, or I shouldn't have to go do signings. I shouldn't have to go. And when you talk about hustle and stuff, I guess for the people that don't know, like there's a lot of things that I've either set up for myself or just had opportunities come to me right from other people from just networking or just mutual connections and stuff of me negotiating deals and talking about what's fair, what's not fair, what my time looks like, and like being able to manage myself and being able to make decisions for myself, make money, that other people aren't necessarily don't have that access to right on this team. There's opportunities that I have just because of who I am and where I'm from and who I know, that have gotten me to the point that I'm at. And that's not necessarily the biggest thing you see in NIL. That's not what a lot of people think about. A lot of people think about just the collectives and just it's not pay for play, right? But just like at this point in this thing, you kind of have to pay to get players out of the portal, right? That's not really a thing of guys just transferring because they want to be at a new school. Like that's usually the expectation is that they're getting paid, and that's not for everybody, right? But that's definitely for a lot of the big time guys that you see moving around the portal.
You told me something really early when we were talking about NIL and the potential pitfalls. I said, "Do you think it's going to be okay that an offensive guard looks at the starting quarterback and he makes significantly more?"
Yeah,
And I thought you were so profound when you said he's the starting quarterback. He's going to get more. I
yeah.
get that. As Jacob Ward, I understand that.
Right.
Does everybody though understand that?
I think for the most part, I think if you pay attention just to trends and you pay attention to how it is at the highest level too, right? Like you've got you've got all your franchise tag guys, you've got all your guys that are making a lot of money, you got guys that are making minimum salaries, you got just it's just a thing, right? And it's very well known. I think if you look at kind of how it's gone in the NFL with a lot of the running backs around the league, right? That position, according to media, according to these people, to a lot of people in the league, that position is very undervalued, very underpaid, and not quite shown as much respect or love with through their payment, whatever it may be, right? And that's just the nature of the beast. Like, yeah, it stinks, right? But again, that left guard's not going to make as much as the tackle, not going to make as much as the quarterback or the star wide receiver. Like that's just kind of how it is. And if you don't understand that, then I suggest you try to because it's not a fair world, it's not a fair league, and it's just part of it, I guess.
All right, so let me ask you this: Would I mean, if this was in regular private business, it would be called like socialism. But what would you think of um, some sort of system that paid everybody an equal amount?
A standardized system that it allows for fair pay for everyone that's doing the same job, right?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. I don't know how it would work. Me and my buddies, again, like I've talked about on this show a lot. I'm friends with a lot of guys that just happen to be walk-on players, right? Or guys that aren't getting paid NIL stuff, and there's conversations about how things could be done better for them as well, right? And how you look at some schools across the nation and they're able to cover all their walk-ons tuitions and everything like that through these NIL collectives, and yeah, maybe some of the top guys take a hit on some of their things, right? But if the whole team's getting taken care of, I don't know. I feel like that the culture is different around it. But yeah, man, if you can, I don't know. I don't think everyone necessarily should be paid the same. I think that there's value within each person, and I think that it's what it's about, right? It's about realizing your value to a team and realizing your value to the organization, and um, quite frankly, if I bring in more value, if I'm more valuable, like we'll just put quotes on that because obviously I'm no more valuable than anybody else. But in this NIL regards, like if I'm more valuable than another player, then as a competitor and as just a man with pride, right? I'd prefer to be paid for that, right? And I think that that's just a very normal thing that everyone experiences, in their careers and in the workforce. Um, so I don't know, man. It honestly goes both ways, and I can see both ways. I would not be the one to have to try to figure it out because not my job, and hopefully not my job anytime soon. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
No, absolutely. All that being said, Cooper Mays has a decision to make,
Mhm.
and I'm sure part of it's NIL. I'm sure part of it's the fact that he loves Knoxville. I'm sure part of the fact that on the flip side, he would like to get his NFL career started.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to ask you, how important would he be? You're going to be gone, but how important would his return be to the 2024 football team?
Yeah. You're talking about guys with value, right? He's got an extreme amount of it on the field for sure. Just the way he plays and the way he communicates, and that's something we talked about early in the season too. Is you can kind of tell a difference whenever Cooper's not out there. You kind of understand like things are just different the way they flow, and it's just whatever it is. Like just on the field has a lot of value, but off the field as well, man. Like everyone that watches the show, I'm sure probably watches that one too. So everybody knows how just cool of a guy he is, and how much. Um, Not like rah rah like loud energy he brings, but just the energy that he brings of just the calmness and steadiness and just his toughness throughout everything. Man, he has a lot of value to the team, and so obviously, yeah, it would be great for him to be back another one for the program and for the team and for the offensive line and the quarterback. I think it'd be great for Nico to have a guy that has an extreme amount of experience. But at the same time, is it would also can see him being extremely successful next level in whatever he's doing. So again, haven't talked to him. Maybe maybe I should. Maybe I just see kind of where his mind's at and try to pick his brain about what he's feeling. But man, I know he'll make a great decision.
Give me an example of a game that, if you can think of one,
Mhm.
a game that was perhaps in question where his either even killness, which isn't a word, his even killed demeanor or his competitive fire really truly affected the game in a clutch situation.
Um, I can't give like a specific time, right? But I remember times, right? And I'll preface this by saying no one's perfect, right? He's an amazing player, but he loses sometimes too, right? So this is a situation that won't get into the game or whatever, but just say it was, a pass pro or something, right? and he's fighting his man one on one, like which he ends up a lot with these nose guards and stuff. One on one, and just kind of his guy is kind of leaking off of the edge or whatever, and it looks like he's like losing, right? And I come up and I'm able to help him or chip him or whatever, and just kind of help him out. Like the ability to, man, be so, I don't know, it's weird. The ability to be so appreciative, right, in the moment, and just understand like he truly looks at me and goes, "Thank you so much." Like, and like the fact that I don't even know how to I'm explaining this, but he's very good at being, you know, I don't know what it is. Just being a good teammate, man. Like, and understand that, I have his back, he has my back. I think is the biggest thing with him that I've never questioned. Right. If I'm losing on a block and answer or something, he's always right there, behind me. If he's losing on something, I make sure I'm peeking to try to help him out. And I think that, again, that could be had with anybody on the field. But I truly feel like that is something that me and Coop have had for these last couple of years that we played together. That sticks out to me, what I'm saying, in his ability to, and I guess that's not really what you ask about his even keeled, you know, nature, right? But just being able to just, man, snap and focus and just look out for his teammates while also taking care of his job and make sure everybody knows that, he's got their back.
Now, there are certainly times in which there's it's called for a fiery nature and then an even kill nature. Center is one of those positions. I think for the most part, you want to be pretty even kill. You don't want to get too high
Yeah.
or too low. Uh, a couple more things. The Vol Report brought to you by Drs Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Haun. Look at me with no glasses, no contacts. Enjoy life better when you see better. And they're local. They care about you, and you're going to be well taken care of. I'll give you an example. They called me on a Sunday evening, 2 days after surgery, just to make sure that everything was okay. And that was my doctor, not just someone at the office. They're awesome. Drs Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Haun. LASIK surgery, cataract surgery as well. Why will this Tennessee football team and you be fired up for a Citrus Bowl against Iowa when last year it was 10-2 Orange Bowl? I knew you guys were going to be fired up for this game.
For sure.
I'll be honest with you, man to man. I wonder, will this football team be fired up for a Citrus Bowl against Iowa?
I think one thing that kind of helps, right, is that I do believe we got one of the better bowls that we probably could have, right? An 8-4 team, I think, getting in Citrus Bowl, playing didn't win the championship, but the runner-up of the championship for their conference, and I think that I think it's a great challenge, right? I think they're a great team. They have a great defense, and I think it's what fires me up is being able to go and play against a defense like that is known for holding people to not many points, right? And just being extremely stout, being extremely tough and hard nosed and all that stuff, and being able to just kind of mix the two types of ball, right? We play very different styles of offense for sure. They play a style of defense that we've seen before, right? But they do a good job, and as we're kind of starting to get looking at it and just watch a little bit more of it. But man, Orlando's going to be a great city. It's going to be a great environment. We're going to get to do a lot of really cool things, and I think if not yesterday, if last year's your first bowl experience, I think if you're a freshman and that was the very first thing you came into, and it was like, wow, this is what it is. Like, this is what it's like. I think that you maybe have a weird feeling about this one, about like, oh, it's not the same, whatever. But man, if you've been through kind of the things that a lot of the guys in this program have been through, you cherish this one, and you understand that yeah, I've been in the like worst bowls, right? And I've been in a very good bowl. Haven't been in one that's kind of like just a really good bowl. I haven't quite experienced that yet, right? You have a Gator Bowl, which is a good bowl, Music City Bowl, which is a good bowl, and then the freaking Orange Bowl, which is one of the best. Now let's find one right in the middle, right? That we can go to and just, man, have a good time. I'm excited to finish the career off the right way, and hopefully get a win against a good defense. And yeah, I know I kind of just babbled on, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
As far as festivities and stuff, I think you'll be really happy. The Citrus is much closer to the Orange than some of the other bowls you mentioned, because they've got a lot going on for you guys. You'll love the Citrus Bowl. I was happy for you guys on a personal level when you got chosen to go there. So again, he is Jacob Warren. I'm gonna go ahead and predict it. I got a minimum of 8 catches, 2 touchdown passes, 150 yards in the Citrus Bowl. And that's only going to go up as the month rolls on.
Let's do it.
He is Jacob Warren. I'm Dave Hooker. This has been a presentation of Off the Hook Sports.